All right, boys, we have an issue with the BMW. Only a slight issue, but I found out a really cool way to fix it. Now, the issue is the alternator. So the 1JZ alternator puts out 110 amps, which is pretty decent. But the E46, being technologically advanced, needs 120 amps minimum. Now, with alternators, if you didn't know, you can put more current rating in the car, but if you have less, it doesn't give you enough. So if you got more, it's not like it overcharges the car and it's going to explode. It's all good. You can run like a 180 and it will regulate it. But if you run like an 80 and you need 120, you're not going to produce enough electricity and things are going to not work. Things will fail, things won't charge, all that kind of stuff. Battery won't charge, whatever. Okay, so I am in a lucky situation. You guys can put yourself in this situation if you want, but it's a little bit harder, but I'll explain what I mean. So I was looking for alternators for 1JZs. You can get a Golby's, which is good. It's got a bracket. It's just like a universal one with a bracket. I don't really like that. I want one that's OEM and I can bolt in and I can just order another one, right? The other option is the SC430 3UZ1, right? But the thing with that is it has 3 tabs instead of just the 2 tabs that you need. So you need to cut one tab off, then you also need to shave the back of one of the tabs. Now, my issue with that is if I shave it too much, the pulleys are going to sit like that and it's going to chew the belt and it's going to suck, right? I didn't really want to do that. It is an option and it's a cheap option. You can get them for around the $300 mark for like a 140 amp, which sounded pretty good. So I was going to go down that path. And as you do, you sit on Facebook, you do searching, you ask people, blah, 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 blah. And then I was just like, so 1Js are the same as 2Js, but why is no one in these forums talking about 2J ones? Like, that's really weird. So I was like, let's have a look. Had a look at them, and they are readily available. There are multiple different companies giving 130, 140, 150, 160, 180 amp, and they're relatively well priced. So the difference is the plug. So on the 1J, you have the round plug with 3 pins, and on the 2J, you have the oval plug with 3 pins, right? I'm in the lucky scenario where I don't have a wiring loom. I'm going to be giving it to the boys at this company, and I'll talk about them in another video, but I'm going to give it to them. They're going to wire it all up. I said to them, hey, what alternator do you want me to run? And they were like, whatever you want. Give us the car and we've got the plugs. Like, they're just generic plugs. It's easy. So I was lucky. Now, you can also put yourself in that scenario if you have a loom, because all you've got to do is unpin 3 pins and then repin them into a different plug, right? It's very, very simple. Now, I paid $375 for this alternator. I'm not affiliated with the company. They're not helping out the build, none of that. It was just, oh, there it is, buy it, 140 amp alternator, sweet. Let's go outside and fit this bad boy. All right, so like I said in the intro, we need to do a little upgrade. This is the stock alternator, which is a 110 amp, which is all well and good for the Supra that this came out of, but this is going into obviously that comes with a stock 120 amp. Obviously, there's a lot more electronics and ECUs and all that kind of stuff in here running the whole car and the dash and the everything. So we need a minimum 120. So I'm gonna rip this one off and put that one on, and you'll notice that one has a nice fancy shiny pulley. And these are not fancy shiny pulleys, but I do have them on the Supra's motor. So I'm going to pull them off of that because it doesn't really suit it. And then I'm going to chuck them on here and put these black ones on the Supra, which obviously has a black engine bay. So let's jump in and swap this out. All right, so that was easy. It's 1 bolt there, 1 bolt here. This one's actually a nut on a thread. So you can undo this one completely, undo that one, and then it kind of leans out and you slide it out. Sorry, I've kind of limited with my recording abilities today. I left my tripod somewhere, but that's on, all lined up, done. Like, it's that easy. It's straight bolt off, bolt on. So now we've got 140 amp for that, and like I said, it's got a different plug, but they're just going to wire to whatever. They didn't care. I'll put the link in the description for this, so you don't have to go and spend $500 on an alternator. You can just go and spend $350 and have a brand new ready to go alternator. If you've got a 1J, you just got to repin your plug and get a new plug. It's really not the hardest thing in the world, and it'll probably be way cheaper than spending another $200 on an alternator. So that's it. Like, it's simple. It's 2 bolts, chuck it in, and you're fixed. The belt fit the same. It was actually, the belt Well, it was a little bit looser, as in the tensioner wasn't sitting here, it was sitting here. It's still under tension, everything's all good, but just be aware of that. If you really want, you can pull the pulley off the front and put the old pulley on, all good, no dramas. Now, I was gonna sell the 110 amp, and then I was like, why would I do that? I have a 3UZ that needs a 110 amp alternator if it ever dies, and that one's good, so I'm just gonna keep it. So sorry about that, but there's no secondhand one coming from me to the market. But that one, man, that was such an easy swap. Now, like I said earlier, I have got the polished pulleys on the Supra for the power steering pump and the water pump, and they don't suit the Supra anymore because I've blacked out the engine bay. So what I'm gonna do is whip them off of that, put it on the 1J, and then obviously that'll be polished cam covers, polished, water neck, polished pulleys. It's a polished theme in the engine bay, right? The car's discreet, the engine bay is polished. And then I can put the black ones on the Supra where it's an all blacked out engine bay, apart from, as you know, the red coal back cover and the silver cam covers. So it will suit, they will both suit each other so much better. I will do that in another video. So if you want to see that, you got to come back. And to come back, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button. It's easy, it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, it doesn't cost me anything. It just helps the channel endlessly. If you could do that, and if you could also like the video and comment, let me know what alternator you're running on your 1J, your 2J, your 3UZ, your 1UZ, your 2UZ. If you're running a 2UZ, let me know, because I think they're only in 4-wheel drives. But anyway, let me know what you think. Please like, please subscribe, please comment. See you all in the next one. See you guys.